everyone, this is Sumaya Thabasum, second year MSc student at Manasagangotri College. I am going to explain about networking devices. Here I have taken only 5 devices: repeaters, hubs, bridges, routers, gateway. Before explaining about devices, let's see what are internetworking devices. Internetworking devices are products used to connect networks as computer networks grow in size and complexity. So, do the internetworking devices use it to connect them? Then, the purpose of having devices. First, they allow a greater number of nodes to be connected to the network. Second, they extend the distance over which a network can extend. Third, they localize traffic on the network. Fourth, they can merge existing networks. Fifth, they isolate network problems so that they can be diagnosed more easily. Here, let's see which devices work on LAN. LAN, it means local area network. LAN are designed to operate within a limited geographic area, allow multi-access to high bandwidth media, control the network privately under local administration, provide full-time connectivity to local services, connect physically adjacent devices. They are bridge, hub, Ethernet switch, router, ATM switch. Then, in wide area networks, WANs are designed to operate over geography of telecommunication carriers, allow access over serial interfaces operating at lower speeds, control the network subject to regulated public services, provide full-time and part-time connectivity, connect devices separated over wide, even global areas. These devices are router, ATM switch, modem, com.server. Here, what networking devices operate at the physical layer? Physical layer, it is a first layer of the OSI model. A repeater can provide a simple solution if either of these two problems exist. When signals first leave a transmitting station, they are clean and easily recognizable. However, the longer the cable length, the weaker and more deteriorated the signals become as they pass along the networking media. Here, the location of repeater. It located in physical layer in the OSI model. A repeater is an electronic device that receives a signal and retransmits it. Repeaters are used to extend transmissions so that the signals can over longer distance or be received on the other side of an obstruction. Here, what is the disadvantage associated with using repeater? It can't filter network traffic data, sometimes referred to as bits. Arriving at one port of a repeater gets sent out on all other ports. Data gets passed along by a repeater to all other LAN segments of a network regardless of whether it needs to go there or no. Let's talk about hub. Multi-port repeaters are often called hubs. Hubs are very common in networking devices. Generally speaking, the term hub is used instead of repeater when referring to the device that serves as the center of a star topology network. Device that serves as the center of a star topology network, sometimes referred to as a multi-port repeater, or in Ethernet, a concentrator not intelligent. Here, it is an example of hub. Here, the hub is a host. These computers are sent some data to host. See, when it had received the data, it repeats out of every port except the receiving one, who C gets the data. Here, the center point is the hub device. Here, surrounded by computer at one receiving point and one at sending point. Here, what problem could occur as a result of too much traffic on a network? If segments of a network are only connected by non-filtering devices such as repeaters, this can result in more than one user trying to send the data on the network at the same time. If more than one node attempts to transmit at the same time, a collision will occur. When a collision occurs, the data from each device impact and are damaged. It is about collision on network devising. Here, what networking device can be used to filter traffic on the network? One way to solve the problems of too much traffic on a network and too much collisions is to use an networking device called a bridge. A bridge eliminates unnecessary traffic and minimizes the changes of collisions occurring on a network by dividing it into the segment. Because now we are going to talking about bridge. Bridge device that connects and passes packets between two network segments. More intelligent than hub, analyze incoming packets and forwards based on addressing information. Here, it is a bridge connected with two hubs that called segment 1 and another one called segment 2. They used to segment networks into smaller sections. When data reaches the bridge, it decides whether or not to forward the data. It looking at the destination and source and MAC address. Every time the bridge receives the data, it learns the source address, looks at the destination address, and decide to send the data or discard the data. It is a bit summary. More intelligent than a hub, can analyze incoming packets and forward based on addressing information, collect and pass packets between two network segments, control broadcast to the networks, maintains address tables, different type of bridges, transparent source road. Here, at what layer of the OSI model do bridge operator? It will operate on the second layer of OSI model that is called data link layer. Because bridge operate at the data link layer 2, they are not required to examine upper layer info. Here, what type of network traffic problems is a bridge incapable of solving? However, when traffic between network segments become too heavy, the bridge can become a bottleneck and actually slow down communication. Bridge work best where traffic from one segment of a network to other segment is not too great. What are routers? Let's see what are routers. Routers are another type of networking devices. These devices pass data packets between networks based on network protocol or layer 3 information. Routers have the ability to make intelligent decisions as to the best path for delivery of data on the network. Here an example for routers. It shows the path determination on network layer. Layer 3 functions to find the best path through the entire network. Here, the computers are connected to the router. What network problems can router help resolve? Let's see. The problem of excessive broadcast traffic can be solved by using a router. Routers are able to do this because they do not forward broadcast frames unless specifically told to do so. How do routers differ from bridges? Routers differ from bridges in several respects. First, bridging occurring at the data link layer or layer 2. It is called data link layer, while routing occurs at the network layer or layer 3 of the OSI model. Layer 3 is nothing but network layer. Second, bridges use physical or MAC addresses to make data forwarding decision use a different addressing scheme that occurs at layer 3. How do routers work? Routers are used to connect two or more networks for routing to be successful. Each network must have a unique network number. Here, an example, the port where a router connects to network would have an IP address of EF5. Here you can see A1, A2, A3, A4, A5 are the addresses and they are network A. The IP address of the router second interface would be B5. Here network A and network B connected to the router. The router would determine to send the data from network A to network B out it ports with the IP addresses B5. Here you can see how router will connect network A, network B, network C, network D. What is gateway? It is the last topic of our discussion. A gateway is a piece of networking hardware used in telecommunication networks that allows data to flow one discrete network to another. Gateways are distinct from routers. Here, the picture. Let's take a live example for better understanding in this. In this scenario, server is sending data to PC. They have 5 PC at one server. I am talking about only one server. Let me finish first this. Data to PC1. This data will first get entered in this switch. After that, it will reach to PC1. Like this, PC2 is sending data to PC3 and PC4 is sending data to PC5. And all this data travels through the centralized device it called gateway. Like this happen with the another server, it connect to the gateway. Like this happen in the gateway device. Let's talk about how gateway works. A gateway mainly works on IP. IP doesn't mean it isn't doesn't but internet protocol addresses for dissimilar network communication. It has control over both collisions inside a network as well as broadcast means outside the network domain. It can also encapsulate the data packets respectively. Thank you one and all.